How's it going, Misty?
Good, how are you? Welcome back to Hamilton.
I know, it's so great to be back.
Oh, I'm glad you made it.
And now I have such a better appreciation for all the stores.
Oh, I hope so.
I didn't understand them before. I want to go shopping for fabric and see all the projects and...
Perfect. So I thought we would start here. This is our Penny's shop.
Okay.
And so it's named Penny's because this was J.C. Penney's 500th store. This is where he grew up, actually, is here in Hamilton. And so it's just a little nod to him. And this is where we keep all of our solids and blenders fabrics. So I thought we would come in here and pick out some fabric for your projects.
You can teach me what all of that stuff means
Let's do it.
inside. I saw this through the window, so I actually have one of these in my bedroom at home.
Do you really?
Yeah, at my parents' house.
You have an old treadle machine,
Yeah,
huh?
this is crazy. So it was my great-grandmother's, and when I was home a couple weekends ago, she told me that she has my great-grandmother's patches
Oh my gosh.
that we put together that she made on the machine.
Craig, that's amazing.
So she's gonna pull from the attic some of these like unfinished quilts that my great-grandmother made. And I was like, it's crazy that it comes full circle.
It really is. Well, so this is Penny's. And so like I said, it has all of our solids, which you can see, walls and walls of solids fabric. And then blenders are kind of those tone-on-tone prints and stripes and polka dots and things like that. And really everything that's in this store, it just means you can get it consistently. It's reorderable. So I know you mentioned that you wanted to make a runner for your table. So I thought we could start by picking out some fabric for that.
Yeah, I would love to. I do have a blank glass table downstairs that I'd love to put a table runner on, and you told me that that's one of the things you can do through quilting.
Absolutely, you can. So let's go pick something.
Let's do it.
So what do you have in mind as far as like colors go?
We always have blue hydrangeas set around the house.
Perfect.
And on that table. So maybe
right.
I should shift more to, or lean more to a blue.
Okay, awesome. I think I've got something in mind. So it would be this way. So let's head over here. This color here I think would be really beautiful for your runner.
Yeah.
And then we can just pick kind of a softer blue or a blue gray to contrast against that. And then it will just really tie in with your decor, and it'll be a great kind of basic neutral.
You really have a great eye for this, don't you?
Well, thank you. I love doing it, so it's a lot of fun.
Good.
And so since this has some texture, maybe let's do a regular solid for the contrasting fabric.
Okay.
And so let's move back down this way.
So your home must look really put together. Like if you have a table runner for every season.
I mean, I don't know about that. You have to remember I've got 3 kids and a dog and 2 cats. It's chaos at my house.
I think like the small custom items like that you do throughout the year.
I think it brings a little touch in for sure. And I love doing that. I think those little simple things can really just add so much character to our homes and a little bit of our own personalities we can bring to it.
Well, we'll see how simple the table runner is.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Seasonally, or if this is the only one.
All right.
I hope it's easy.
So I think this blue-gray would be really nice contrast. And so I picked up this pattern. This is one of my designs. It's called a mini Irish change table runner. And it's really simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little intimidating to think how we go from here to here, but I'm excited.
I know you can do it. So you made the sawtooth star.
Yeah.
This is even simpler. It's just squares.
Okay.
So you'll do great.
I feel like it's riding a bike. You know, once you do it once, you start to remember.
Exactly.
You just have to fall off a couple times.
And I think you'll be shocked at how easy this one is. And so when you are quilting on our patterns, you flip it over and it tells you exactly how much you need. And so we're gonna do the 2-color version, which is down here. So it says we need a 1/2 yard of fabric of this color and 1 1/4 yards of our background. So we'll cut this one first. There we go.
When you're reading the card, the width is just standard. You're just cutting off a bolt.
With quilt fabric, yes.
Okay.
It's typically about 42 wide, 44 wide. So then on this one, we need 1.25 yards. And so actually, it looks like somebody put this back on the bolt, and it's exactly what we need, which is pretty awesome. So we will just take that cut.
Well, as I learned with the scraps last time you were in Charleston, nothing goes to waste in quilting.
No, exactly. You can just hold on to it, and it'll be your next project before you know it.
Okay, cool.
So here is our fabrics and our pattern, and so let's go make it.
All right. It's so hard not to buy all of these gadgets.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of goodies.
Your shirt is great.
This is Chuck.
Yeah,
Is that who it is?
That's our Missouri Star kind of mascot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Here's your selections.
Thank you.
Happy sewing.
Thank you, Teresa.
We've got some projects to work on. It's an awesome shop. How many of those do you all have?
So there's actually 16 different shops here in town. And so they are all kind of themed around a different fabric. So like this one was for solids. This one we're walking by now is for license. So any of those kind of like novelty, like cartoon characters and things like that.
Oh, cool.
And so then we have a whole shop dedicated to sewing machines and all of the gadgets that go with them.
Oh, wow.
And we have kids and baby, batiks, florals.
It's funny. I guess back in the day, way more people were seamsters and seamstresses than people remember. But I found out that my great-grandfather reupholstered the furniture in the White House.
Oh my
in the basement.
gosh.
And I was like, Mom, why have you, where's all this sewing history coming
You
from?
have so many great stories in your family.
And my dad was like, yeah, so you've got some sewing in the history. Apparently my parents are just remembering all of it.
Well, I'm sure even more stories will come out as you spend more time doing this. It's pretty awesome. So this is our little welcome to Hamilton mural, Find Your
Wow.
Happy Place. It's kind of a nod to the quilt, and we had this wonderful local artist who has unfortunately since passed away. His name's Kelly Poling, and he painted all the murals that you see in town. So it's got Zach Wheat, Baseball Hall of Famer, a little nod to our high school mascot, the Penny Hornets, and then of course J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
It's his boyhood home, and so again, that's why we named that shop that we were in after him, a little nod to him. It's just a great way to welcome people to town here in Hamilton.
It's so cool. I didn't know he was from here.
Yeah, absolutely. People are pretty proud of that here in Hamilton, so I just thought you'd like to see it. So
Yeah.
let's head to the studio.
You guys have made your mark on the town too.
We try.
Yeah.
Craig, welcome to my studio.
I love it. I'm obsessed.
I'm so glad you could come. So this is where I film all my tutorials, and I'm so glad you could be here.
Really great. This is a dream.
It's
To
a
have
great
content studio like
space,
this,
yeah.
and I mean, you set mine up really well.
I
though.
tried,
I don't
tried.
feel left out at all.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So we have our fabric and our pattern to make
Okay.
the runner. So let's go ahead and pull this out of here.
I just don't know how we're gonna go from there to here today, but
I'll walk you right through
Okay,
it. Easy
awesome.
peasy. So we are going to start by opening our pattern,
oh wow.
and it takes you through kind of step by step what you need to do. And remember, we're doing the 2-color version. So
Yep.
it says we need to cut 6 2-inch strips across the width of the fabric from our light color.
Okay.
So I'll let you go to town.
Okay.
And if you want to, you're a lefty, so you get to start from
Yeah.
that side. I'm like, I would have to trim this up over here.
How's that?
Looks great. So if you just want to cut.
Wait, that is 2 inches, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Sorry.
it.
I was like,
You got
I
it.
doubted myself for a second.
So if you just want to cut a few more,
Okay. Slow and steady.
that's right. All right, and so then we'll set this aside for now until we need the rest of it.
Okay.
And so then we can open up our background fabric now. And of this one, we're gonna make 3 2-inch cuts, and then we need 1 5-inch
Okay.
cut as well.
Crafting in front of people is an exciting new journey.
Well, you're doing great so far, so
Thank
no
you.
pressure.
Okay, 1 2-inch strip.
Let's go ahead and cut 3 of those as well, just
Okay.
like we did of the other color. Beautiful. So then just like before, this is enough to get us started. So I'll set this aside for now.
Okay.
And then we are gonna subcut this into 5-inch squares. So if you wanna just turn it so it's faced that way. Yep, and then you can use this ruler to just trim off this edge. Make sure you get the fold as well. Perfect.
There we go.
Slide it over, I think right there. It's always better to, count and double check though.
Right. Measure twice, cut once.
That's right. And then go ahead and do one more.
Even though it's going to cut that edge off.
Yeah, that's just gonna be our little bit of waste,
Oh, okay.
so no worries. Beautiful. All right, so now we have all of our cuts done, and now you get to start sewing.
It's so simple.
It's super easy. And so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our strips that we cut and we're gonna make 2 different strip sets. Okay. So the first one, we are going to do our background and then our accent and then our background. And so you'll just sew these long strips together, one after the other. And then the other one, we're just gonna do just the opposite. And so we'll do accent, background, and accent.
Okay.
And so that is the first step. So if you want to stack these up.
Oh yeah, right side to right side.
Well, the beauty of these fabrics is there really isn't a wrong side,
Okay.
so you can't get it wrong.
Okay.
And so you're just gonna sew with a 1/4 inch down one long side. And then we'll just keep going until we have both of our strip sets done.
All right.
You've got this. Just
See if
take
I
your
can
time.
manage this.
Can be a little tricky sewing on a machine that's not the one you're used to.
Yeah, but it's kind of exciting. It's like driving a new car.
That's true. Take it for a test drive. You're doing great.
Thank you. You're a good teacher. They grind a bike. Someone else's bike. Iron the seam while you're doing that.
Sure.
To the dark side.
That would be great. Can I show you a little hack?
Yes.
Okay. So if you actually put this up, and I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start here, and you put whatever color you want it to press to the top, and then roll it back, like this, then your seams are gonna go to that side,
Wow, look at that.
and you just don't have to fight
And
it.
you don't have any waste.
Yeah, and you don't have to fight it
Because I
quite
was
so
worried
hard.
that it wasn't pulled enough.
Right.
And I was going to get that crease.
Exactly, and if you press it from the top first, then you know you've got all of that out of the way. And then it just lays super nice. And then when we flip it over, it's all to the dark side.
See, those are the easy tricks that save you so much time when you're taught by someone who knows what they're doing.
Let's spend a little bit of time doing this,
that's
right?
why I like having, like learning from other people. Just there's nothing wrong with it.
It's so true.
Why figure it out if someone else has already done it?
That's right. And so just like before, we're gonna add this to the other side of our darker fabric here, and we're just gonna sew all the way down again. And we'll then repeat the exact same thing with this set. So we have 2 sets ready to go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you got it.
Just stacking it. All right, let's see if I do it right this time. Do you put the press right foot up first before you cut it?
It doesn't matter either way. Perfect.
All right, let's see if I can do the iron trick.
Yeah. So in this instance, since you want it to be pressed towards that dark, you'd actually flip it over and start with this side up. And then you'll roll it back that way. So your seam's going to the center.
You roll it back this way.
Yep. And just kind of keep this, I like use the weight of the iron to kind of guide it and then just roll it. So then both of my seams will be pressed towards that
Okay.
darker middle. Pressing sort of does matter in quilting. It can make your life a lot easier. By consistently pressing to the dark side, especially on a block like this, your seams will nest. Do you remember when we talked about that?
Yeah.
When you join them together, and it just kind of reduces that bulk and makes your life easier in the long run.
That's great.
It's just part of the process. Awesome.
Okay, so
This looks amazing. And so now we're just gonna repeat this exact same thing with this other set, but we're gonna press it towards the dark side, so that'll be out instead of towards the center.
okay.
So we'll
Who
do
knew
it.
that the ironing part would be my challenge today?
That's
all
all
right,
right.
so it doesn't matter.
Yep, you just put them together.
Together.
And we'll just sew
I'll
it.
take it to the machine.
Perfect. All right, so we have our strip sets made. I went ahead and cut them in half just to make it a little bit easier for you to handle when we're because we're gonna cut this down some more.
Okay.
And so from
I
this,
feel like we're always sewing something and then cutting it down.
that's kind of the trick, cutting up perfectly good fabric
Taking
to sew
apart
it back
really
together,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
All right, and so from each of these, we are gonna cut just a bunch of 2-inch strips.
Okay.
So if you want to,
You stack them or no?
I don't like to, you can, but I just get nervous when there's a seam that it's gonna get wonky.
Okay.
So I just do one at a time.
I want to do it the right way.
The other thing is, I'm trying to think how this would go with you being left-handed, but I love to use my ruler as the cut guide. So I would just slide it here and then use the edge to cut against.
Smart.
Yeah. And so honestly, you could flip it around because this one is already clean. And then you'd come from here, right?
I don't know. I've never done it that way.
If it makes it harder, I apologize.
No. It's fun to try a new. Here, let's square it. I don't know why I'm getting nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're doing great. There we go. I actually think that little bit of selvage will end up in the seam, so that'll be fine to use. All right, perfect. So then we can stack these up, and we're just gonna make a pile for now, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing and cut this other strip set.
Sweet. My great-grandmother, so if she did the top of a quilt, what's that called?
That's a quilt top, you got it.
Quilt top, okay. It's hexagons.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have not gotten to this level
I
yet.
wonder if it's hand-pieced. A lot of hexagons are.
You'll have to be the judge of it when I bring it eventually.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
The seam spacing is very consistent through it, but it's wide, so...
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell. I'm curious.
I'm sure I will. I can't wait to see it. That's awesome.
So, because I've learned triangles and squares so far, but
yes.
It was, I mean, it added an entire set of seams that you had to do for each piece.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy.
We can move all those out of the way for now. I'll just put them in a pile down here and finish that last little bit.
I mean, I feel like back in the day, way more people made their own stuff.
I think they certainly did. I mean, it was out of necessity, right? It's just
yes.
So many more people used to grow a garden and keep chickens and things like that. And
I think that's the thing that's coming back now. It's like, just because it's not out of necessity doesn't mean it's not good for you.
I think that one will work. You're fine.
I think we had a spot.
There we go. All right. So this is what's going to make up the 9 patches. And so to do that, we are just going to take 2 of these and 1 of these. And when we sew these together in sets of 3, this makes a block that we call a 9 patch. And you can see it's just, 9 little squares together. We're gonna cut 1 more off of our 2-inch strip. We need some 2x5 inch rectangles.
Okay.
So I'll have you cut that as well. Move this up out of your way. Perfect, and that's enough to get us going.
Okay.
All right, and so then the secondary block in this uses 1 of these and 1 of these, and then 1 of those 5-inch strips.
And this is all in the pamphlet?
And this is all in your pattern. And so the entire quilt is made up with this block here, and then solid 5-inch squares that we already cut, and that's it. So if you want to start sewing this together, then we can lay out your quilt.
Okay, let's see if I do this right. So the first one I'll do here.
That's right.
And run the seam here.
Yeah, and let's just remember, you want these little seams where they meet up in the middle. That's where they're gonna nest, and since you did such a great job pressing them, they're nesting perfectly. And so those just kind of lock in place there, and you're just gonna do your 1/4 inch right down one side.
I feel like you're fibbing about
I'm not, they look great.
Okay, so locking together just means the seams are literally the same.
Well, they're going opposite ways, and so that means that your seam line is right in line with one another. Yeah. If you just line up the edge with this diagonal seam tape, on these you want to make sure your seam is just a little bit scant because we want them to end up right at 5 inches.
So the black line or the white?
The black.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, like that.
Yeah.
I think.
Just to the inside of it a little bit more of the black line.
So I can see the black line?
Correct.
All right.
There you go.
Now we're getting a little less forgiving, a little more precise.
Beautiful. And now at this point, you don't even have to really press it yet. I just like to kind of fold it back and finger press just to get it to stay out of my way.
Okay.
And then we're gonna bring in that other strip and add it to the opposite side, just like before, making sure that those seams are gonna line up. And then you're just gonna go straight down that side.
Okay. This is such a fun thing to graduate to. Like, pillows are great, but I could quilt a pillowcase.
You absolutely could.
Amanda, are we gonna start selling quilted pillowcases? You think we could source that? What if I promised to make 10 a week?
You don't want to do that to yourself. Keep it as just for joy, you know?
Yes, for special gifts.
That's right.
Creations around the house. I will say that everyone's very into the enhanced clothing.
Oh, that's so fun. I'm so glad they're liking it.
Yeah.
It's fun to do.
Possibilities are endless.
They really are. Right. Amazing. All right, so I will give this one a press, and just like we sewed this together, look how good that looks.
Not bad.
You did amazing. Your
help.
little points match up great.
Okay.
And so just like we sewed this one, if you want to go ahead and sew this together, and then we're just going to repeat until we have a bunch of these blocks ready to go, and then I'll show you how to lay it out.
This is what I thought it'd look like when I started the pillow company. A bunch of people in my garage just knocking out
sewing.
patterns. Yep.
I love that.
And I mean, I know we're sitting here and teaching everyone or allowing them to follow along as I am taught. But when you're sitting at home and you have time to kill, I mean, what better way than to sit around and make something for you or your family,
And it's
just calming.
It's so satisfying to learn a new thing and to just be able to hold it up at the end and be proud because you did it.
Right, like every single strip I make, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so let's see if I remember what side it goes to. Right here, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Now I have to do my seams. You have such a touch
Well,
with it.
I think you'll be surprised at how quickly you pick it up. I've been doing it for a few years now, so it's kind of second nature at this point. But
Yeah, how long have you been sewing?
I started sewing when I was a little girl. My grandma taught me.
That's right.
And so I think I was probably like 8 or 9 when I first started sewing. But I've been quilting consistently for, 15 years now, so.
Well, it's a good story, and I think people really want to make it a part of theirs too.
Yeah.
Because it's something you can do with your family.
Exactly. All right, look at that. So let's give this a press. Beautiful. All right, so here are our 2 blocks.
Yeah.
And so now we just have to make a bunch more. So let me give you some more of these, and you can get to work.
Are we done cutting them apart?
We are,
Okay.
yeah.
So now we're just putting them
Now
together.
we're just sewing, so we'll just keep at it, and then we can lay this thing out.
All right, I'll keep matching seams and creating new ones.
All right, so we have a pretty decent stack of these done, so I thought I would go ahead and show you how they start to lay out.
Okay.
So all of these that have the solid strip,
Yes.
they're gonna be your ends and your edges of this runner, which here, let me lay it out so it makes...
This is the border.
Exactly. And just like you made little 9 patches, we're essentially making larger 9 patches for this quilt. So we're gonna put a solid in the corner, and then this guy's gonna come in like this, and then a solid square. And remember, all the edges get these little strips.
Okay.
So this one comes in here, and another solid square in the middle.
And how do you know where to put these?
Well, I'm following the pictures. See? So here's our end. See how it's starting to take shape? And so then the full 9 patch, that's gonna come in next. And so that's gonna create this continuous chain that gives us the look of that pattern that we picked.
Gotcha.
And so this slides in here. And we're just gonna continue laying this out as we go. And so just like you sewed, 3 little squares together, now we're gonna sew these, in columns is how I typically do it. And we will just keep going.
Cool, it
until
really
we
starts to come together.
Yeah, it really does, and that's it. That's how this entire runner is made. And so we'll just make this as long as you need. And once you have it all sewn together, I'll help you get it quilted and finished up.
So if we were starting here, I would do this
Exactly.
and do this seam.
That's right. And then you'll come back and add the other one.
All right. I mean, it's really not time intensive. It feels it because we're filming a little.
Yeah, we're filming it while we go.
Yeah.
But once you sit down, you really get into a rhythm of it, and it goes pretty quick.
So 1/4 inch.
That's right. Beautiful.
So
then we'll open that back up, and then this needs to go on the opposite side. There you go.
wait.
Right here.
Yep.
This edge. It's easy to get turned around.
I really do like the no rush part of it though.
That's exactly right. Just enjoy the process. Be kind to yourself, you know, as you're figuring it all out.
It's huge.
Yeah.
That's when I started with pillows. Nothing was ever good enough, and it started to affect like me being happy with it, where I was like became such a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And I feel like as you do this more and more, you're like, it all like comes out.
It does. Look how great it
together.
looks. That's amazing.
Doesn't matter what that looks like. This is it.
That's
okay,
perfect.
so there's a column.
That's right. And so then we'll just keep going. So I'll have you sew this one. And then we are going to...
Right here.
Oh, sorry. I almost told you wrong. Right there on that side.
All right. We'll knock this out.
Yeah. We'll be done before you know it. All right. And so then let me press these for you, and I'll show you how to sew these two together.
Okay.
And then you can just continue on. So I'm going to roll these out to the dark side. I'm going to roll this one into the middle.
I'm not a Star Wars knowledgeable person, but every time you say that, it makes me think of...
Right? Yeah. That's about all I know too.
Yeah. I know there is a dark side.
That's right. And so then
I like it, but...
we are just, I mean, this is exactly like you did on the small block again. So you're
Right.
you're just going to kind of nest those seams. If it's helpful to pin this, you absolutely could.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. So, and this pattern in particular is so forgiving. Just sew down that side.
Okay.
And so then once we have all of our columns together, we're just going to continue for the length of runner that you want to make for your table.
Can do this with any machine?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
As long as it will sew a straight line, that's all you need. Let's see. Oh, it's looking so good, Craig. It looks amazing.
It feels like legit. It feels
Yes.
like something you bought at the store. Which I know it's the same thing. It's just handmade.
Yeah. And so you can see how it's truly taking shape. And so I'm just going to leave you to it. And I think we'll come back when it's all done.
Okay, sweet.
All right.
This is cool.
Awesome. All right, so you finished your whole runner.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and took this to our machine quilting department here and just had it finished for you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and so you made the entire top of the runner.
Right.
So the quilt top or
Quilt
the
top.
runner top in this case. And so then we sandwiched that with a piece of batting.
Oh my gosh, this is so nice.
That's right.
I mean, it was nice before. I didn't even expect it to become this like thick of quality.
Isn't it great?
It really is. And look at the finished edge.
Yeah.
And
So we bound it, and this is this pattern that I had them stitch out is called Time Warp. And so that's something that's really cool is our machine quilting department can do all kinds of different stitch patterns.
it's just really, really something special.
Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And next up, you're gonna make a whole quilt.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, but
I believe in you.
okay, good.
So be sure to tune in and join us. And I'm gonna teach Craig how to make a quilt that will match his women's collection from
right.
Sewing Down South. And so we'll see you there.